Hello, futuristic developers. First of all, Happy New Year to all of you. I know I'm little bit late to wish. Anyhow, in this React tutorial, we are going to build one of the best personal portfolio project you can currently find on YouTube. It's an incredible project in terms of design, responsiveness, animations, code style, and much more. Before starting, I want to give design credit to Sajan. I found him on Dribble and did some changes in his design that I felt best to do. Now let's get back. By following this tutorial, you will learn how to build React project from scratch, how to use hooks like useState and custom hooks for the React apps. For making smooth animations, we will use the Framer Motion, which is an awesome library for making animations in React. We will use Sass, or you can say as SCSS, in modular form to write CSS. By writing CSS in Sass form, you can make independent React components without thinking about clash of HTML classes. Also, if you have never worked in modular form or with SCSS, then don't worry. I am going to teach it in a very beginner friendly manner. For making the sliders, we will use the very famous React Slick library. You will also learn about the responsive designs. At the end of this project, we are going to deploy it on internet so you can show off your skills to your clients and for your placements. Now let's see how we can set up our machines to get started with this project. Let's start. As the first step, you have to install the Node.js in your machine. So to install the Node.js, you can simply write Node.js download in your Google Chrome. And here is the first link. By the way, I will also provide this link in the description of the video. So you have, if you are on Mac OS, then click here, and if you are on Windows, then click here. So as I am on the Windows, I can click here and it starts downloading. So I have already installed the Node.js, so I am just canceling it for now. But it's a very easy setup. After installing it, you just have to do next, 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 and install. So to verify the installation, you have to go to your PowerShell as an administrator. So here I am. Let's make text bigger, okay, and write node minus v. So if it gives you a result with the version number of node, then this means the node is installed on your machine. The next thing you have to do is to install the yarn package manager. You can search for it on Google like yarn package manager. Here is its website, but instead of reading all its documentation and other things, here we simply have to write one command, which is npm I means install, minus g, it's a flag of global installation of a package, and here write yarn. So as I hit the enter button, here it starts installing. As I have already installed the yarn, so it took a very little time. So it's installed, but it can take up to 10 to 15 seconds on your machines. The next requirement for this project is the git bash. Git bash is a utility to use the command line of the GitHub. So here if I write git bash download like this, then here is the utility setup. You can download it for the Mac OS, Windows, Linux as well. And I believe 95 to 97% people already using this. By the way, if you are not familiar with Git, then just do a simple search on Google how to connect your GitHub account with the Git, and it's a very easy thing to do. Okay, now the next thing, you have to go a blank VS Code directory, and here I am opening the terminal by Control J, and let's make a text little bigger. Okay, and here I am writing git clone, and there is a link of starter pack for our project why I am not making it from the very scratch command, which is like npm create react app, because it installs too much extra stuff that we have to remove after the complete installation of blank react project. So to avoid all this stuff, what I did, I made an empty project which is containing all the necessary files like the images and some predefined constants for the screen sizes, all these stuff already in the starter pack. So you just have to paste the link of the GitHub starter pack for this project and hit the enter button. I will provide this link in the description of video. So if I hit the enter button, here it's cloning, and yeah, now it is done. So if I go to the explorer, okay, I have to close the terminal. Here you can see I have to reveal in file explorer. Here it is. Now I am going inside. I am closing the previous instance of VS Code, and here I am opening this folder which is extracted from the GitHub by git clone. I am opening with, okay, here you can see I have all the extracted data, the src folder which is containing the asset and some hooks with the styles. Means it's a very minimal setup for our current project. And to start this, I am again going to terminal, and here write simply yarn and press the enter button. So it will install all the dependencies required for this project. It's eventually the node modules that we have to download for making this project. So here you can see now I have all the node modules. If I go to package.json, here you can see I am using Framer Motion, React DOM, React Slick, and the most important thing here you can see I am using the Vite. Vite is an alternative of npm create react webpack. Basically, it provides a lightning fast server for the development. If I go to its official website, Vite.js, here you can get all the related information. Yeah, here you can see it's an instant server start with the lightning fast HMR technology and many other rich features. So if you are developing front end, then I highly recommend to use the Vite, which is the next generation front end tooling. So by the way, let's back to our project here. Okay, now to start our starter pack, we have to write yarn and then simply Vite. Okay, here you can see how fast that was. It only took almost 2 seconds to start the development server, and you can easily find the difference between the create react app webpack and the Vite.js. So if I go to this port, just pressing Control plus click, and here I am, it's saying subscribes and keeps code, and nothing more than this. It's a complete blank project without any predefined markups for a new initial React project. So let's have a walkthrough of our starter pack, what we have here. First of all, inside the src folder, we have our main.jsx, which is containing nothing special. It's almost same in every React app. And then here is app.jsx. Here I have added a comment. Don't forget to add font link index. I just made that comment for myself. Of course, I am going to show you how to do this. I just made this comment so I don't forget do this thing. Okay, let's remove this, and I am saving this. Okay, so our app.jsx is just containing an h1 tag, subscribes and keeps code, and here you can see its result here. Okay, the next thing is in our assets, I am having only react.svg. By the way, we are not going to use it. Okay, so where is my actually assets that we should use in this project? They are inside the public directory. Here you can see these all are the pngs that we are going to use in this project. So why I don't put this in my assets folder? Because this provide us a global access, or you can say a global path to access our images from any deep level of component inside our src directory. Okay, we just have to write the name of the image that we want to extract out, and it will be there. We don't have to make a relative path with the back strings. So it's really easy to use a public folder instead of assets here. Okay, let's move on. So inside the hooks, I have made some hooks. So I will show you what's inside these files when we are actually going to use it. So just skip this for one. Inside the styles, inside the global.scss, here I have made nothing special. It's just simply containing primary background color, and then uh, there is a class inner width, which is containing width of 100%, and on the screen size of double XL it will contain maximum width of 1280 pixels. By the way, from where I am getting double XL size, it is coming from constants scss. So here I have just defined some variables, means small screen size, medium, large, XL, double XL. Then there are some colors which I also defined in a variable format, primary, secondary, and secondary white. So here you can see how simple this is to use the variables in our SAS format. Now to import this in global, here I have written a statement import constant.scss in my global.scss. So now I can actually use these variables here. By the way, the very important benefit of using SAS over CSS is that nesting. Here you can see I can make the media queries individually for the classes. Not I have to make a separate media query and then I have to rewrite all the classes for that specific media query that we usually use in the CSS. But in the SCSS, what I can do, I can separate them on the basis of their class names, and I can also target their children's, but we will see how can we do this later on. Now there are paddings. Similarly, I have made paddings for different types of media queries on the mobile, on large screens, medium screens. So it's nothing more than this. You can say it's a kind of distance file which is going to describe distance between different elements. Okay, here I have made a flex center class, so we don't have to write again and again display flex, justify content, align item center, and similarly flex start, flex end. And at the last I have declared some font sizes. So you can also walk through this file again, but there is nothing so much in this file to explain. Now I am going to index.css. Here I just simply mean margin padding 0, which is not 0 by default. We have to do this, and scroll behavior smooth. Cool. After the styles folder, I am going to utils folder, and here I have data.js, which is containing all the dummy data that we are going to use inside our project. So we will see it later how we are going to use this data and how I have defined this. And the last file is motion.js. Actually, I really don't want to open this file at this stage of our tutorial because it doesn't make any sense. We will see this when we will actually at that stage. So let's close this. So after visiting all these files, you have a clear idea in your mind that how I made this starter pack and how you are going to utilize it for this project. So now let's actually start building our very first component, which is going to be our header. So I should open the deployed version here. Yeah, how cool the animations are. So first of all, we are going to make this component, which is our header, and it gives a border on scrolling down, and it disappears automatically when we are at the top of our page. And yeah, we can actually visit different types of components and on clicking its headings. So let's start making this. Okay, so to start the header, here inside the src I am making a folder with the name components. Inside the components, I am again making another folder with the name header, and inside the header I am going to make two files. First of all, header.jsx and the other is header.module.scss. So as I described earlier in the intro of video, that the benefit of using module format is we can specify same class name in the different modules without thinking about the clashes of their css properties. Okay, you will see that I will make the same container class in different components, still they will not clash their stylings because this module is going to give a unique id name for each class. Okay, so inside the header.jsx I am writing rafce for a react arrow function with an export statement. Let's save this, and here I am importing css by writing import css from relative folder and header.scss. Cool. So now I have to save this, and inside the app.jsx, now on the return statement, instead of this h1 tag, I am saying header component. Here it is also giving me an auto suggestion, so I am just clicking on this. So it's automatically imported here. Let's save this and see our results. If I go to here it's saying header. How easy that was to set up our starter GitHub repository and then become familiar with it. Now, the next thing that I am observing to do, we should first make our fonts correct, because in the actual app we are using a very pretty font that is not available here in our development version. So let's see how I am going to do this. So I am going to open the index.html by pressing Ctrl plus P on my keyboard, and here I will write index.html and press enter. Okay. Now here I am going to paste a link. I will provide this link in the readme file of the starter pack. So just above this title of our website, here I am pasting the link to import the fonts, and then we can also change the title of website. So I am changing it to the name of the person, Binjan. Okay. Now after importing this here, we have to import this, basically not import, but we have to declare the styling in our index.css here. Okay, so this data will come with the starter pack, and after this here I am writing font family is going to be EUDO XUS. So I don't know how to pronunciate this, so I don't want to make fun of myself. And then sans serif, but this font is really amazing. I really like that font. So if I save this, and now if I am visit my website, here you can see that the font is applied and it's looking pretty better. So I have to zoom out to actual version here. Okay, 100%. It's too much small, so let's make it around 125%. Okay, it's better but not too much good because we have no content. So inside the app.jsx, I want to make app.module.scss. So what I will do, here inside the styles folder, I am making a new file with the name app.module.scss. Okay, so let's open it side by side here, and first of all here I am declaring a class named container. So you might be questioning yourself where I am using this class container. So first let's use this class. So inside the index.jsx, just simply return, instead of just simply returning the header component, first of all I will write return and then div.css.container. So I'm using these CSS shortcuts and these HTML shortcuts, like I written the div.css.container, and when I press enter button, then the whole format of div is coming as a result. So this is just because of I have enabled the emit abbreviations in my VS Code setting. So you can also enable this. You can just search on the Google. It's a very common setting. Okay. So why I have used this format of css.container? Because I'm using the module format of my Sass, or you can simply say my CSS. So to use the module formats, we have to declare a parent object which is going to be the CSS. We have to import CSS also. So I will write import CSS, okay, from relative directory styles, and inside the styles we have app.module.scss. Let's confirm again. Okay, yeah, here we have this one styles. So let's save this. Now this css dot container is actually referencing this container in our module file, and it will also give it a unique id. Means it will be like container underscore a unique id, so it will not be mixed up with the other container names for the other sections. By the way, now inside this container I am going to write my header component, and let's save this, and you will see for now the result is pretty much same here. But the bonus part is this: now on this container I am writing this whole thing inside a backtick and then wrapping it inside curly braces and place a dollar sign in front of this. So now it's again a kind of JavaScript object, or you can say the constant. But now I can also include my global stylings like the inner width or flex center and many more things. But for now here I am writing background primary, and if you have forgotten where I have declared the background primary, here on my CSS side, if I go to global.scss, and here you can see I have a class named bg primary. So this global.css is going to be act as a global CSS file whose classes can be referenced from every file of our project. By the way, to use these classes I also have to include this global CSS file inside my main.jsx. So I'm writing main.jsx, and here I have imported these two, index.css and global.scss styling, so they can be referenced from every file. And here you can see now it has a background color which is very nice. Okay, by the way, let's move on. Now we can finally work on our header.jsx. You can also go to this component by right clicking on this and go to definition. Okay, here is our component header. Now I am removing this div header and I am making a wrapper, something like this, and inside this wrapper I'm going to make a container. Okay, so now inside the container, as if we reference our deployed version, here you can see the first thing is the name of the person. Here I am going to make a div, and this is going to have a class name of name. Inside the name I am saying it as Binjan. Okay, by the way, I really like this name Binjan. And here instead of global sass I am opening my header.module.sass. Let's save this and see here, this is the name. Cool. Now it's time to add some paddings around the header content. So to add the paddings here, for the class name I am again wrapping it inside the backticks, then curly braces like this, and here I am writing paddings. So the paddings will be applied here. Here you can see the paddings are applied. Now if I zoom out to 100%, here you can see it's actually according to the real website. Okay, let's fix this more. For our container here I am again wrapping inside the backticks, curly braces, dollar sign, and then making it a flex box with the display flex, line item center, justify content center. All of these properties are embedded in this class flex center. And also I want to give it a class name of inner width, so it will be responsive for all the screen sizes. Let's save this, and here, yeah, now it is. Okay, let's move on. The second thing is going to be the menu of our header. So if I make this a little bit small and zoom in here, so here I am making an unordered list which is going to contain 5 list items, and each list item is going to contain basically an anchor tag. So press enter, and here inside the S, first of all write services and then experience. Okay, and after the experience, portfolio, similarly testimonials, And the last one, in the last one I am not actually targeting the a tag. However, instead of this, as you see on the deployed version, the last item is the phone number. So for the phone number I am writing a p tag. Inside the p tag, let's say the phone number is 123456789, and then we have to include an icon of the phone. So bi phone call, which is going to be imported from the React icons library, and then I'm giving it a size of, let's say, 40 pixels. Okay, it's time to import this icon. So here on the very top I am saying import bi phone call from React icons, and inside the React icons call the bi type of icons. Okay, let's save this and see the results. Here we can see this is the name and this is the unordered list. And now we can style this more. So expand this side header. First of all, as you can see, we have the wrapper here. So for the wrapper, I am targeting this like this one. Then inside the wrapper, we have a container. So container is going to be position relative with the justify content space between, and the font weight of text will be 500. Now for the wrapper I am again saying it as position relative. Z index is going to be 99 with the opacity of 1. Transform, for now none, because when we are going to make it responsive for the mobile screens, then we have to play with the transform. So but for now let's make it transform none. And position sticky, because when we scroll down we have to make the header stick on the top of the screen. Like if I go to deployed version here, now I'm scrolling down but the header is sticky on the top of screen. So to achieve this functionality here, we have to make the position sticky. Now declare its position. I am saying from top it has 0 pixel distance, and the transition is for the all type of transitions make 300 milliseconds of each transition. Okay, cool. Let's save this. Now inside the container we have the name of our person. By the way, a very important thing that I forgot to mention, that this is the beauty of SaaS, that we can use parent, child, and then it's again acting as a parent, and then it's acting as a child of container. So this is the beauty of SaaS, how it has simplified the work for us, that we can exactly work like we are working in the HTML. So we just have to reference our HTML. Okay, this is a wrapper class, this is the wrapper class. Now inside this wrapper we have a container, so inside the wrapper we have a container. Similarly inside the container we have name, so inside the container we have name. So just this is the total SaaS, nothing more than that. The only extra things, like we can declare variables very easily. We are also going to see it how we are declaring it, but the most important feature is the nesting of this CSS. Now for the name, here I am making the font size 1.5 rem with the font weight of 500. Let's target the menu of our header. So here menu, as menu is the sibling of name div. Here you can see this is the name div, and now this is the unordered list. So basically I have to give a class name here. So class name css dot menu, and it's better if I just make it like, okay, here if I just make it flex center and save this here. Now I have to target the menu here. What I will say, the text transform should be uppercase, so all the headings will have an uppercase text, and then the font size of 1 rem. List style should be none, so it will not have dots on the front of every heading, or you can say the menu item. And then the gap should be 1.5 rem with the cursor of pointer. Let's save this and see the results. Okay, here are the results, looking good. but there is an underline and also the color is not good for the menu items. So what I will do, I will say inside the menu I have some list items. For the list items I have some anchor tags here, because here you can see I have declared their names inside the anchor tag. So for these anchor tags, make the font color inherit and the text decoration as none. Let's save this. Now I will say on hovering these anchor tags, so to put a hover state, I will say and hover means I am targeting these list items. I am saying on targeting these list items which are containing these a tags. So for this, make the color as secondary. Okay, now there is a logic how I am using this variable, or you can say the constant secondary, inside my header dot module. Basically, to use this I have to import my constants file. So above this wrapper, here I am importing a file. Mm, Go outside, then go outside. Inside the styles I have constants.sas file. Let's save this. Okay, now let's go to this file. Actually, here inside the constants.sas file, what I just have small screen size, medium, large, excel, double excel, for making media queries easy and consistent throughout the app. After this I have some color decorations, like primary color is going to be this, and secondary white this. Nothing more than that. And this is the way, the dollar sign, how you can declare variables inside this SAS. Now to use these variables, what I did, I have to import this constants file in my header dot modules, so it can access these variables. Now if I save this and go to here you can see on hovering it's actually catching the secondary color. I don't know if you are able to see it or not, because it's very small. Let's make it bigger now. Yeah, here you can see on hovering we are actually adapting the secondary color. By the way, now let's fix this phone call button. Okay, make it a little bit small, and here, okay, for this last li I'm giving it a class name of css dot phone. Also, what can I do, I can make it flex center just here. So flex center, let's save this, and here after the li I will say, like, now the other allies are going to be siblings, so I'm targeting it here. Outside of the li I will say phone, and inside that phone the items are going to have 1.2 rem distance with the flex wrap property of wrap. Now inside this phone class I have a svg, which is going to be basically this icon. For this svg I am giving it a color of secondary, which I already used, and the background color of, let's say, white. Now the border radius is going to be 99, basically 999 pixels, so it will be round, and a very beautiful box shadow. So I'm just copy and pasting the value of box shadow like this one. So now let's save this and see the results. Yeah, actually the size of phone is bigger. Let's see why. Okay, I think it's not actually adapting the size or anything else. Basically the size is correct. What I can do here for the svg, I will say it should have a padding of 10 pixels, and yeah, now it's okay, exactly our deployed version. Yeah, it's too much similar, but what we are facing that the font color is not same. Here we have some different font color, it's pure black, and in the deploy version it's not pure black. Again I will press the control P, I will go to the app.module.scss, and here we forgot to declare anything inside this container. So now what I will do, I will say overflow, make the overflow only for the x direction as clip, and then the position relative, and the color is going to be the primary color. So again, to import the primary color, yeah, here I can import this file as import from the relative constant dot scss. Let's save this. And yeah, now color is also applied. If I zoom in this, I don't know whether you are able to see the difference or not, but there is actually a difference. So our static header for the desktop version is pretty much done. Now the next thing is to add animation on loading first time, because if here I reload, here you can see there is a beautiful animation, but this is not available here, it's a static. So to add this animation, we have to use the framer motion library, and we have already some pre-written code here. If I say motion.js, here you can see we have some pre-written code. So I will explain you this code, but while actually using this. So here inside header.jsx on the very top, I am importing the motion from framer motion library. So here let's say import motion from framer motion. Yeah. Now I am going to change the wrapper div, and instead of saying it on the div, now we will say it as motion.div. Okay, it's time to declare on initial. It's going to be the hidden, and when it is in view, while in view, make it show. I don't think I have to explain that what this thing is going to do, that on initially our header is going to be hidden, and when it is in view then it will be shown. But now in between we have to add some animations. Now to add those animations, I will give it some variants. Okay, so variants are going to be the header variants. So now to import them directly, what I will press Control plus space. So now it is giving me auto suggestion from my motion.js file. Let's import this. Okay, let's go to header variants file, which is here header variants. As you know that here we have declared two states, hidden state and show state. So I am saying on hidden state, make opacity 0, and it will be displaced on the y-axis towards minus 50 pixels. And during doing this, it will follow the spring type transition with the stiffness of 300 and damping value of 140. So stiffness and damping, and there are some more values like these. You can read about these values on the official Framer Motion website. But for now, the damping is like a kind of bouncing effect, and stiffness is a kind of hard effect. So these are the different values that we specified. Now on the show state, we want to make opacity 0, and transition that it going to follow is spring. And similarly, I have declared a stiffness and a delay of 1 second. So after came in view, it will take 1 second to show. This is the total explanation of header variant. Now if I save this file, and basically I also want to add one more thing, which is going to viewport. So I will say viewport. If I specify once equal to true, it will show the animation only once, only the first time load. But I want to make it again and again, so I will say once false, and the amount of 0.25%. So if this div means the wrapper div is 0.25% in the viewport, this animation is going to start. So let's save this and see here. If I reload this, here you can see the amazing animation, very smooth. So our header is now completed for the desktop version. Now it's time to make it responsive. And for making it responsive, first of all, here I'm going to my code, and then we have to go app.module.scss, and here I am making the height of our screen as 100 view height. Okay, let's save this, and now you can see the background is applied to whole screen. Also I want to enable these responsive tools, yeah, like this. And for more, now what we can do, we can make it side by side. Okay, so let me fix my screen. So I have aligned the code screen and the output screen, and if I go to the deployed version, here you can see on the mobile view it has this icon of menu which can open and close our header actually. So same type of functionality we have to implement here. So for doing this, I have to go header.module.scss, and here let's target the menu. Okay, let's see, I have imported the constants. Yeah, I have imported constants to enable the screen sizes. Okay, so here I will say add the media screen, and for the media screen the maximum width is going to be the small screen sizes like this, and also I want to target the medium screen sizes also. So max width equal to MD. Okay, for them I want to make position absolute here like this, and the list style, of course, as it was none previously, by the way, you can skip here, and then the gap of 2 rem with the font weight of 500. Okay, let's save this, and in here you can see a very little difference. I have to make it a more zoom in. Okay, for more, what I have to do, I am making the flex direction as column, and here is the result. Now it's not looking in good manner, but let's fix it. So now I want to fix the position I'm making from the right side. It will have 0 distance from the top. It will have 3 rem, and the width should be 50% of the total screen size. So yeah, now it's in a correct manner with the minimum width of 15 rem. So means if we have very small screen size mobile, then our sidebar should be 15 rem on that screen. And then the background color which is I am going to give is white with the padding of 2 rem. Display flex, of course it was also previously flex, and then the border radius should be 2 rem. Let's save this, and yeah, here you can see after this I am giving the transition as all 300 mses, and align items flex start with the padding of 3 rem. Okay, let's save this. Yeah, I have made the line item star, so they will not be in center anymore. And then the next thing is justify content also should reflect start, so it should always be on the top of the div with the box shadow property. So I am just copy and pasting a beautiful shadow here like this one. Let's save this. Okay, so our static sidebar is now completed. Now we have to add functionality of a menu icon, and a kind of movement towards right side and then come back into screen on clicking that icon. So for making this, I am going to header.jsx here, and below this UL I am making a div with the class name of menu icon. And in this div, first of all, I am importing an icon from the React icons, which is bi menu alt and right. Okay, then I am giving it a size of 30 pixels. So if we just write 30, it will be 30 pixels. Let's save this, and yeah, it will have error because okay, it's auto imported. Okay, so here is the icon. Now for the movement states, here I am using the use state hook of the React. So const menu open, and then set menu open like this with the use state hook. Okay, use state, and by default it's going to have a state of false. By the way, I am making a lot of typos in this tutorial. I don't know why my hands are just slipping on the keyboard. Okay, and then to control the state here, I will say on clicking this div, let's do something. So what it has to do, it will set the menu open as true. So basically not always true, but the negation of previous value. So if it is open means if it is true, then it will make it false, and if it is false, then it is going to make it true. And also I want to make a comment here that this is only for medium and small screens. Okay, let's save this. Now, of course, we have not changed any type of styling on the basis of this state. So it's not going to affect in the results, as if I click on this, nothing is happened actually. Means we cannot, means we are not able to show any kind of difference. So how we can see the difference here, I will say not on basically this menu icon, on the, yeah, on the menu here, I will give it stylings, get menu styles, and I have to import it from my motion.js. and I am giving it a parameter of menu opened of our use state. So let's go to this function definition. Here I am going to menu, oh sorry, not the menu, but motion dot js, and at the very end here I have get menu style. So it is taking the menu opened as a prop, and it is saying if we are on a medium screen size or a very small screen size like the mobile screen size, then it's going to do a functionality here. What it will do, it will console log this statement. By the way, this is not a good practice, I am removing this. Okay, so what it will do, it will return a styling of right distance. Okay, so if the menu is not opened, then it will give the styling of minus 100% towards the right side, so the sidebar will be gone from the view. And if the menu is open, then it is going to return nothing, and if it is returning nothing, then the state will be like this as it is currently in the view. So let's save this and also save this. Now if I try to click here, here you can see it is coming back and it is going outside of the view. Also, to give it shadow, when we scroll down, means when we are going to have more content on our portfolio and the page is scrollable, so we want to give a shadow. As in the developed version, if I close this and I scroll, then on scrolling a light shadow appears on the bottom of header, and if we are on the top of the page, then it get away. So to make this functionality, I have made a custom hook. So I can say here const header shadow, okay, is equal to use header shadow, and then I have to import it. Basically it's not importing. Why it's not importing? Let's see in our hooks. Here it is, use header shadow. Let's try to open this. Okay, I am exporting it, but it's not importing here. Let's try again, use header shadow. Okay, now it's coming here. I have just visited it manually and now it's showing here. Let's close this from here. Okay, to use this shadow header on the wrapper div, here I am going to make the styling like this one, that the styles are okay. I have to make it outside of here. Yeah, like this one. Let's format it. Okay, so if we are not on the top of our portfolio or of our screens, then it's not going to provide any type of shadow, and if we are scrolling down, then it will provide the shadow, and the shadow it returns is stored in header shadow, and now we are giving that shadow as the style of our wrapper. So if I save this, okay, there is an error that it is saying motion dot div.jsx fragment. So I forgot to make a closing curly brace here, and now let's save this. Okay, yeah, so when we will have more content, okay, let's actually make it more content and at least try to do so. app.module.scss and make height as 200 bh. Okay, now if I scroll down here, you can see the shadow, and if I at the top of the screen, then there is nothing. And now as the functionality is completed, I can just skip this height part from the module, and yeah, it's time to move towards our next section, which is the hero section. Okay, let's go to the deployed version. Here, this is the hero section. Let's make this. I'm going to my components here and make a new folder with the name hero, and inside the hero make the hero.jsx and hero.module.scss. Okay, and then this css should lie here, and here is my component rafce, and instead of using this div, I will say section dot css dot wrapper. Also I have to import the css, so import css from the relative folder. Again, I am making a lot of typo. I don't know why I'm making this, and here I'm simply saying hero. Now go to app.jsx, and below this header I am simply making hero section. Let's save this, go to our development, and here is the hero section. And for the wrapper, here I have to put some global styling also. So inside the backticks, inside curly braces here, then the dollar sign, and I am giving some paddings here, and then inside this, okay, let's make font bigger. Here I should make a div with the class name of container, and yeah, we have to make some more styling here. Okay, let's give it some inner width like this. And okay, well, that's enough. After this, let's go to deployed version, and I want to give logic how we are going to make this. Let's consider these two spans as a single div, and these two spans means the span in which it will say 10 years experience and then the certified professional. Take these two spans as an other div. So as a whole, we can say these two spans as the upper div and these two spans as the lower div. So let's follow this strategy, and here I am going to make two divs. Okay, the first one is of course the upper. So here I will say upper elements like this, and similarly the lower one will be the lower elements. So lower elements. Cool. Okay, let's make it small and format our code. First of all, inside the upper elements, we have two spans, so span multiply by 2. For the first span, I have content hey there and then a line break. After this, I am binjan. Let's format the code, also add a stop here. Let's see. In the second span, we have and I love what I do. Let's save this and see here. Here we have these two spans, and if it's the upper element which is ending here, so I can make better comments also. Upper elements, and here can be the lower elements. Lower elements. Let's save this. In the lower elements, again I have two divs. So the first div is class name equal to css dot, let's say, experience, and similarly the second one will have a different class name, and I will say it as certificate like this. And for the experience section, if I go to deployed version, here you can see it has a very bold 10 and then JS experience. To make this, I will make a div with the class name of primary text, and primary text is going to be the 10. Then I am making a second with the class name of secondary text. By the way, these two classes are global classes, therefore I am not taking as css.primary and css.secondary. You can find their definitions in the global.scss. Okay, here again I am making two divs. In the first div I will say years, and in the second div I will say experience. Cool. Now for the certificate section, I am making three elements here like this. Okay, so let's format the code. You can see better. The first element is the image of the certificate that is present in our public directory. Here you can see the certificate.png. Then the second one is span certified professional and the UI UX designer. Cool. So let's begin the styling from the upper elements. Okay, here inside the hero.module, in the styling, first of all, I will include the constants file to use the variables, and then after this I will target the wrapper class, as we know that the most parent class here is the wrapper one. So I am targeting this here, and inside this we have to make it overflow hidden, and then I am targeting our container class. Okay, inside the container, as we know that we have two elements, the upper element and lower elements, but before styling them, let's make some styling for the container itself. So I am giving it position relative with the z index of 1, and then I'm targeting the upper elements, and then make the display flags, align item centers, and justify content space between for them. Let's save this and see the results. Okay, then I also want to make it flex wrap so that it should be responsive on mobile screens. Now let's target the lower elements. For the lower elements, make the margin top of 12 rem so that we can have space to you know place some content between the upper and lower elements. Let's save this for now. Yeah, I want I have to make it also display flex, and then again all this stuff, same line item center and justify content space between. Here is the results. Now I am going to target this div which has the name of experience, as we can see in our section. Here this is the experience div which is containing a primary text and a secondary text. I also want to make this div as a display flex. So here it is, line item centers, and gap should be 1 rem. Also I want to target the second element. So which is the second element here? This div which is containing the class name of secondary. As you know, in the developed version here, this is containing a specific alignment, means the display flex. This is a single div and this is an other div, and it has a gap of 1 rem in between, and this div is having text aligned vertically. So to make this, I am targeting the second child of experience and making it as line height of 25 pixels. Here are the results just according to the deployed version we have here. Okay, now it's time to target this certified professional div which is having a class name of I think so certificate. Yeah, here it is. So to target this, I will write the certificate with the display flex and the flex direction of column. The align items are center. Now I am going to target the image of certificate. So I will give it a margin bottom of 1 rem with the width of 3.5 rem. Here our basic structure is almost completed. The one thing that I am missing here is the font size is not according to the developed version. So to make it correct, again I am going towards my code here, and for the first span of the upper element, here I am giving it a class name of primary text, and then the second span is going to be the secondary text. So secondary text like this. Let's save, and here now you can see the font size is exactly what we want. Now as you can see here, we have an image of person that should be at the center with a separate background, because if I reload here, you can see the movement of both images are different. And then we also want an email. So first of all, let's focus on the image of person. For this, after these upper elements, here I am making a div.css.person. Inside this person I am making an image, and for the image I am giving thus src, means source is equal to person.png. This image lies inside our public directory. Again, here you can see the person.png, so I am just simply importing this. Let's save and see the results. The image, now our task is to make it in a correct position. To make it in a correct position, again go to the css here, and after this lower elements, actually after this lower element, here I am targeting the person class. First of all, make its position as absolute with the bottom of -2 rem. So it will have a distance of 2 rem from the bottom with the margin auto. And the next thing is I want to give it a background image which is going to be a splash image having a purple color like this have here. So for this I am targeting its URL as it lies inside the public, so splash.png like this with the background repeat. So background repeats as no repeat, and then the background size, so background size is going to be the 23 rem with the left of 33%. Okay, let's save this, and here it is. The splash image is perfectly aligned and the image is also imported. Now it's time to write our email. For the email, again I am going to hero.jsx, and just after this person image like this, here I am going to make our email. Okay, so for the email I am pasting a very basic code. Basically, let's format this, and here I have an anchor tag which is having a class name of email and then simply email. For more, in the href, I am using a class mail2. So whenever someone clicks on this anchor tag, it will make a pop-up of your email window which is going to send emails to zenkeepscode@gmail.com. Okay, let's save this and see. Here it is imported. So again go to the styling, and after this person I am targeting the email. For the email, make position absolute. From the top it is having 50% distance from left, 0%, and color as orange. Okay, cool. Save this and yeah, everything is ready. Means our static hero section is now ready as it is in a developed form. So let's make it responsive for the mobile screens also. So here the screens are aligned. Now first I am going to target these upper elements. So here let's make text bigger and I am targeting the maximum width small, means on the mobile screens make the justify content center and text align center. Also give a gap between them of 2 rem. Now let's move towards the lower elements. For the lower elements, here I am targeting the screen size of small and medium width, and for them I am making a margin top of 4 rem with a gap of 2 rem. Now I also want to make them justify content center. Okay, this alignment is just because of the size of image. So we will fix this on later, but before this I am going to target the person here, means the background splash. For this I am again targeting mobile devices and small tablets, making position relative. From left it will be 0 and the background size is going to be the 20 rem. Let's save this. Here you can see now it's almost fixed. With the display flags, align item center and justify content center. Okay, but still the background is having some distance from the very bottom. So to fix this, here I will say the background position is bottom. So now everything is in its correct form. For mobile screens, I am removing this email because the screen is becoming too much saturated. So here I am targeting the email class, and for the small screens made position relative and display none. So yeah, a very clean design which is almost ready for the mobile screens is now in front of us with the very cool sidebar. So as we have to handle the image size also, so in the person, yeah, in the person it is containing an image which is this foreground image, and for this on the media of max width SM, means small devices, make the width of 23 rem. Now for the margin bottom I am giving it -5 pixels. Let's save it. Yeah, now the width of our image is also correct. It's time to add animations to our hero section. So for this again I am going to hero.jsx. Here to add the animations I am making this div as motion.div. Now we have to import this motion from framer motion. So what I will do, simply here I will make a line import motion from framer motion. Now I have to give some properties here. So what these properties are going to be, I'm just pasting here like this one, and it is containing a variant of stagger container. Stagger container, you can take this container as if this is applied to the most parent element, then the child elements are going to show animation in a specific one by one manner. Otherwise, if it is not applied, then the child will show very irrelevant behavior. So let's import it from our motion.js, and it's not showing auto suggestion. So go manually to motion.js, and here it is the stagger children, and we want stagger containers. So let's search for the stagger container. Stagger container, yeah, here it is. Now try again here. So if I press again, yeah, it is applied. And if I go to its code, here you can see it is staggering the children's with some delay. So it will show some constant behavior on all the children's. By the way, again the initial screen is going to be the hidden for this element, and then when it comes into view it will be shown, and the viewport will contain around 0.25% of the hero section. Now if I apply this, you can see there will be nothing applied on our hero section because we have not specified the specific animations for its children. I am going to target these upper elements, and first of all target this first span. Here I am writing motion.span, and we have to apply some variants, and I am giving it a variant of fade in. By the way, as we have given the parent container as the stagger container with the initial and while in view, so we don't have to make it again and again for the child elements. Okay, and yeah, we can make it clean like like this. So what is this variant? I am saying make the element animation as fade in from the right with the animation type of twin, the delay of 0.2 seconds, and the duration of the animation is going to be the 1 second. So let's try to import it from motion.js by auto suggestion like this. And if I go to its code inside motion.js, here you can see, first of all, it is taking the direction and making the changes in its x and y axis with the opacity, and on the show everything is going to its normal position with the xy 0, and all of these parameters are applied in the transition. So let's save this and see. If I reload the page here, now you can see it is showing a very beautiful behavior. Similar type of effect I can apply on the second span. So this is the second span and I am just pasting a line of animation like this. What it is exactly doing here, everything is like, but there is a problem here. It is an error because I also have to make it as motion.span. Okay, the variants are very simple. It will show animation similar to fade in, but the position but the direction is going to be left. So let's save this and refresh the page. Here you can see, similarly I am going to target this person, and for this person just make this one and make motion.div. Let's save. See here. Now to make the movement of foreground image different from the background as it is behaving in the deployed version, to achieve this effect, I have to apply a separate class on the motion.image like this, not the class but the variant. So I am applying a variant here. This is not fade in, this is slide in, and all the other parameters are same. So let's also import it from our motion.js. Let's save this, and now if I refresh my page, here it is showing the animation. I am fast forwarding the video now and are going to apply similar kind of animations as we applied on the upper elements. So we will apply same animations on the lower elements. So here I have applied these animations. First of all, these are the lower elements, and this is the first div which is having this variant, and similarly this is the second div which is having this variant. If we show the results here, now you can see. Now let's try it on a bigger screen and refresh the page. Very smooth experience here. So it's time to move towards our next section, which is going to be this what do I help. Let's start this section. Go to the src directory. Here inside the components, make a new folder with the name expertise. Inside the expertise, make two more files, expertise.jsx and expertise.module.scss. Okay, let's open them side by side. RAFCE here. Let's save this and import its CSS like this. Let's save this. Now instead of this div, we have to make it section. So section.css.wrapper, of course, and div.css.container. And inside this container we have to make a lot of stuff, but first of all style this here. For the styling we have to make very basic things like give some paddings, and I also want to specify the y paddings with the flex center and inner width. Cool. Okay, after this, if I save this and simply write it here, expertise, and inside our app.jsx here, below this hero, I am importing this section. Save this and see the results. Okay, there is an error about our CSS file. So the error is just because here I wrote the CSS, however it should be SCSS. Now if I save, and yeah, everything is good, and here is my expertise section. Inside this expertise, I am going to make two divs. The first div is going to be the left side, and the second div is going to be the right side, because if you remember the deployed version, this section works on the basis of two sides. Let me visit again. Here you can see this is the left side and this is the right side. So we have to take care about the two sides. Let's start from the left side. Okay, inside the left side we have some data like we have the icon, we have the name of our expertise, and the projects we done with that specific skill. So to make this data available, here we have file data.js. Actually, it lies inside the utils folder here, the data.js. If we open this file, here you can see I have an array of objects with the name project experience, and each object contains the name of expertise with the project number, the name of icon, and this icon is actually imported from the React icon. So we have to use them dynamically in our section. And also it contains a background color. This background color is basically this color. Each icon have a specific color behind it, so this color is defined here inside the bg. So these are the three expertise, I have to use them here. So I will say project expertise, basically project experience, imported from the utils data. It is auto imported, and then I have to map around each expertise with its index number. And I will say for each expertise return a div basically, and for this div I am giving the class name of exp, means the experience. Also I have to give a specific key. It behaves like a specific id in React components. For each expertise we have to return an icon. So let's say the flex center, and this div is containing our icon exp dot icon with the size of 25 pixels, and the color of icon is going to be the white, like this. Now it also contains a second div, and for second div I'm giving no class name but the two spans. So for the first span it will be the heading, so exp dot name, and in the second span we will have the explanation, so exp dot projects. The explanation only contains the number of projects we done with specific skill. So if I format the code, it looks something like this. Let's save this and see the results. Okay, so here I have the icons, but they are not too much visible because of the background color and the white color of the icons. Now we have to move towards the styling of this section. Again, inside the module, import our constants file like this and target the wrapper. I have to give it a background color of white because this section here, you can see in the deployed version, it is containing a white background. So it is have a background white CSS. Inside the wrapper, we have the container. For the container, make line items flex start with the gap of 2 rem and the flex wrap as the wrap to make it responsive. So yeah, here are the result. And then after this I am targeting the div inside the container, means I am targeting the direct childs of the container, and the direct childs of the container are left side and the right side. Okay, let's give some content here as right side, and this is our container here. So I am saying about right side and left side when I am writing direct div. So for them, make the flex as 1, so both will contain the equal width of the screen. Let's save this and see here. Here you can see this is the left side and this is the right side. Let's move on. After this, I am specifically targeting the left side, making it at display flex direction column and a gap of 2 rem. So yeah, nothing too much difference, but still I have to target the experience div in which lies inside the left side. Make it again display flex item center, but I am giving it a border of 1 pixel with the solid secondary white color. So if I save this, now you can see each of the experience is containing a border around it. Now let's give it some border radius and a padding of 1.5 rem. Also I want to give some more distance between them, so giving a gap of 2 rem with the transition of all 200 ms ease out. Let's save this, and here are the results. By the way, if I make it side by side so you can see it more better, Yes, now you can have the more better idea. Okay, after this, I am saying on hovering each of these experience, make the cursor as pointer. So now you can see I am having cursor as pointer on hovering this, and then I am giving a very beautiful back box shadow on hovering this. So now if I hover there, you can see a very beautiful shadow which is appearing very smoothly. Why it is appearing smoothly? Because I have given the transition of 200 ms ease out. Okay, after this, I am saying the first child, which is basically the circle that should be this one. Okay, so for this icon, I have made a comment icon circles, make the padding of 10 pixels and the width of 3 rem. And after this, also the height should be 3 rem with the border radius of circle. Now, the description is basically this one, which is the skill name and the number of projects we did. So for this one, making the nth child 2 because the first child is the icon and second child is the description. Make the display flex direction column and a gap of 1 rem. Inside this description, as we know that we have two children's, first one is the name, second one is the number, so I'm targeting the first one. And for the first one, I am saying make the font size of 1.6 rem and the font weight of bold. So let's save this, and here are the results. Okay, if I go deployed version, it should also say the project. So on the in the expertise.gsx, after the projects, I will say it like projects, and I am also giving it a class name of secondary text. So if I save this, oh sorry, so yeah, but the problem is the icons are still not visible. So to make them visible here, I am giving it some styling, and as a styling I am saying it should contain the background that is experience.bg. Okay, so now these icons are visible. How easy that was. Okay, let's move on towards the right side of this section. So here is the right side, and if I go to data.js for the right side, I also have an array. Okay, if I make the word wrap on here you can see I have two members of this array. I can separate them like this one. This is the first string and this is going to be the second string. If I go to the deployed version, here you can see the first string and this is the second string. Okay, so I have to use them here in the expertise.jsx. Remove the right side. First, I am making the heading of the section as the primary text. With this, what do I help? Let's save this, and here is the result. And now I again have to use some JavaScript. What do I help? Import it from data.js and map through it. And for each, of course, the paragraph, through each paragraph, iterate with its index number and then return a span element. For the span element, simply write the paragraph like this, and I also want to give it a class name. So for the class name, give it the secondary text. Let's save this, and here both of the paragraphs are visible. One thing we forget about the index number, so key should be used as its index. If I go to deployed version now, we have to make these two numbers. Okay, so for this I'm saying it as stats. So this section is ending here, and now I am making a div with the class name of stats. Let's make text a little bit bigger. Actually, it's just too much difficult to manage all the things on a single screen for the tutorial. And then make div with the class name of stat, and let's see if I can multiply it. Yeah, so for the first stat, basically for both of the stats I have to make spans and multiply them by 2. If I format the code for the first span, I am saying 285 plus, and for the detail I will say project completed like this, and I am just copying and pasting this div below. And for the second one, the numbers are 190 plus, and the projects completed, no, it's not the projects completed, these are the happy clients. like this. Let's save this. Okay, let's make some styling here. First of all, for the stats div, actually make it under the backticks with some curly braces and give it flex center. If I save this here, you can see now they are in a row direction. And for both of the stat here, okay, I am selecting both of them under ticks, some curly braces, dollar sign, and again flex center, but they should be in the column direction, but we will handle this in the SCSS. Okay, now for these spans we have to give some class names. Basically this is not working, so class name primary text, and here the class name as secondary text. Similar type of pattern I have to repeat for the second stat. You can see it's pretty much aligned. It's only missing the column direction that we have to handle in our SCSS. So here in the expertise, let's make a little bit bigger. And here I am targeting the right side, and be careful, as you know that this brace is for the left side. Here you can see if I hover and select this brace, the braces, then it is closing here, and then the right side is opening after this one. So you have to care about the nesting while working in the SCSS. Okay, now let's make the text align center for the small devices, means for the mobiles, and display flex direction column gap of 2 rem. I am talking about the whole right side. Okay, so if I save this here, you can see it's pretty much aligned now. After this I have to target the stats, which is this one, and making justify content flex start with the gap of 4 rem. Now they are having pretty much gap between them. On next, target the individual stat. So for the individual stat I am making direction column and the justify content flex start. So yeah, everything is aligned according to the deployed version here, and yeah, here. And the bonus part is it is automatically responsive for the mobile screens. Now if I make it more small, so yeah, like this one, here you can see this is a mobile screen size and it is automatically responsive for the mobile screen. Everything is in a perfect alignment. The only thing is remaining to add the animations for this section. So move towards the expertise.jsx, and for the very parent section, which is the wrapper, I am making it as motion.section and include the motion from the framer motion like this one. And I have to make some basic adjustments for the very parent. So here I am giving it a variant of stagger container imported by auto suggesting, and then initial hidden while in view show, and then the viewport. After this, let's make some distance here. As you know, in the deployed version it has a very beautiful behavior of coming in the screen one by one. First the website design, then this one, and it's very smooth. So to achieve this, here I have to make motion.div, and for this motion.div I am giving it a variant of fade in, but the logic is come from right side with the animation of twin, and the delay should be I plus 1 multiplied by 2 with the duration of 1 second. So as we know that I is the index number, I am adding 1. So if the index is 0, then it is 1 multiplied by 2. So the delay is 2 seconds, then 4, and then 6. And having a delay of 6 is too much, so I am just making it 0.2. So it's easy to understand, and there is an error because I have not closed this function, and I also have to fade in auto import from motion. Let's save this and hope for the best. If I refresh my underdeveloping version, yeah, we are able to achieve the same kind of effect here. Let's see if we have any type of effect for this section. So let me refresh. Yeah, we have. So I have to achieve this effect, and this is very simple to achieve. For the right side I am giving motion dot div, and I am giving it a variant of text variant 0.5. This is a very simple function. So you can see about it. If I go to its definition, here you can see in the hidden state it has y of 50, and when it is shown then y of 0, and nothing more than this. This is just a animation type with a duration delay. Okay, so let's save this and try again. Yeah, it's also animating if you focus here. So the animation section is also completed. Our next target is to complete this section, which is the experience with the different roles at the different places. It's very interesting to build. So let's start this. For the next section, I am going to make a new folder inside the components. So inside the components, make a folder with the name works, and let's make it with the capital letter. Inside the works, I am making two files, works.jsx and works.module.scss. Let's open it. And okay, before opening them side by side, I am again aligning my screen size according to the project like this. Okay, in the works.jsx, RAFCE for the React Fat Arrow function. And first of all, we have to make a section with the class name of wrapper, and I also have to import css. So import css from relative works.module.scss. Okay, now I am making the styling and all the things side by side without going back. So I have to give some paddings, and let's make text like this one. Inside this, we have to make a container. So div.css.container. Okay, let's write something here like, let's save this, and inside our app.jsx, import this component below the expertise. So works, yeah, by auto suggestion. Let's save this and see here. Okay, here it is saying these are my words. So component is imported successfully. Now let's get back. I am also giving the animation side by side this time. So first of all, import the motion from framer motion, and then doing some basic stuff that we have to do with every section, means giving it a variant of stagger children. So by auto suggesting, I am also importing this, and here make it motion dot section. So yeah, like this. Now let's work on the container. So if I go to deployed version, okay, let's close the sidebar. The first thing is the heading, which is my work experience. Let's make this heading by removing this and span with the primary text, and inside this I am writing the line of our heading, and I also want to give it some y padding, so it should have some more distance from the top and below. Let's save this, and yeah, here it is. Okay, for now it is not in the center because our container is not having any properties. So let's give some styling here. First of all, I will make it flex center with some inner width. Okay, yeah, now it is in center. So after the heading, here you can see we have basically three divs. The first one is containing this rectangle, then the second one is containing this one, and then the third one. Okay, because all the data means self-employed in the Brisbane, and how he was employed as a visual designer. So this is a total relevant data. So we have to put all this data in a single div, then this data in another div, similarly for the third one. So let's start for the first one. First of all, I have to make a parent container, means the experiences. So this is our most parent container, and here now I am writing some JavaScript. Okay, if I go to my data.js, here you can see I have an array of objects which is having name work experience. This array basically having objects which have the structure of place, tenure, role, and detail key. So place is going to reference this detail, then the tenure is going to reference this detail, similarly the role and detail for this section. And here we have three objects like this for the three such details. Let's get back to the works.jsx. Here I will say work exp imported automatically. So here you can see, okay, it's not automatically imported. Try again. Press enter. Work exp, it's not working. Let's try it manually. Okay, here I have to map through this data, and I will say for each experience along with its index number return some div. So the div is going to be the experience div, and I also have to give it a key like this one. Now let's format the code, and inside this div we have two children divs. The first one is going to be the post one, and for the second div we have the name of role. Okay, let's try to fill out the post section first, because post section is referencing this section. Let's make an h1 heading, and here I am saying exp dot place, and then after this heading I have to make a p tag which will say exp dot tenure. Let's format the code again and try to do same thing in the role section. For the role, I am having similar details, but the keys are role and detail for these two things. So let's save this and have a result. If I move here, so yeah, here you can see I have everything, but the problem is for now, because I have just specified it as flex center, so everything is in the row. But as the design suggests, it should be in column direction. But before going to its SAS part, first I have to do some styling here. So I am giving it flex center, save this. So all these things are also in row now. Of course, we have to fix it for the column direction, but I am also giving the flex center for the single exp div. Okay, so here just simply say flex center. Let's save this. Now we can easily move towards its. So if I write works.module, here again for the very first thing I am importing the constants SCSS to use the variables we declared, and then I am targeting the wrapper. For the wrapper we have a container class inside this, and I am making direction column. So if I save this, here you can see the heading and the below contents are in the column direction. After this I am giving a gap of 2 rem, and then I am targeting the experiences div which is containing all this information. For this one, as you predict, we have to make it width 100% and a direction of column. So if I save this, now they are actually aligning themselves. We should have some distance between them of 1.4 rem and a position relative. Let's target the individual div inside the experiences. So I am saying they also should have width of 100% with the justify content space between, and then the line height of 40 pixels. Yeah, like this. After this, make the line items flex start. Yeah. Now I'm going to target the each div inside the exp. So if I visit my code here, and inside the exp, basically I have two divs. First one is the post div and second one is the role one. So I am targeting both of them, and I am saying for both of these divs make the equal width. So if I save this, here you can see how proper they are aligned now after specifying a specific width for each of them. Now I am targeting the role class specifically and making the margin left of 2 rem. That's enough for this section. The next challenging part is to develop the progress line. If I go deployed version, here you can see this is the progress line which is animating on refresh. Here you can see this line. So the whole logic behind this is we are not making its position relative to the parent block. It's going to be the absolute for the parent block. So it is not affected by the position of these three divs. It will have its position independently inside the experiences block. I am going to works.jsx, and here for the experience means the individual block, I am making some animations variants, text variant 2 that is also defined in the motion.js. Let's import it by auto importing, and we have to make it motion.div. Let's save this and now go to the development version. If I refresh the page, here how smooth is this effect, and now we should move towards the progress bar. For the progress bar, I am going to the most below section after this div. Yeah, and here I am making a div with the class name of progress bar. Inside the progress bar, I am making a div with the class name of line, which is basically a dashed line, and I am giving no content in this. And then we also need three circles like green, orange and yellow. So for these circles here I am pasting some code like this. So this is nothing more, just some simple divs with the class name of circle and having their own different background colors. So if I save this and see here, okay, they essentially nothing happened. And why nothing happened? Because we have no content in any div. We have nothing inside progress bar, we have nothing inside line, and then inside the circles we also have nothing. So we have to play with the css purely. So here the trick part is this progress bar whole div should reside inside the experience div. So if I format the code now, okay, I should not format because it is making it too much out of alignment. Align this like this, and if I make this selection, here you can see this is the parent experiences div, and inside this div I am making the progress bar because I want to make this line in the center according to this experiences. Let's save this section here and move to the module.scss. Okay, here in the scss I am making a progress bar inside the experiences div, and for the progress bar I am making its position absolute with the height of 100% with the display flex and a column direction. Also I am giving a gap of 1.4 rem between its content, and its content are going to be the parent divs of the circle. Here you can see in the works.jsx we have the parent divs around the circle divs, and also in contents the line is also included. Okay, so we are giving gap of 1.4 rem and a left value of 45%. So it seems as like it is in the center of div. Now I am targeting the line itself and making its position absolute with the height of 92%. So making it absolute is give it a way out of this display flex, because here you can see we are giving display flex with a direction column, and we don't want to make it in alignment with the circles because this line is going to be as a background of those circles. Okay, let's move on. Now I am giving the width of 2 pixel, and then the line is having a background image. The trick part is we are not making its border like dashed border. Instead of doing that, we are using a background image of linear gradient color, and then making the background position towards the right side with the size of 2 pixel width and 30 pixel height of each dash in the line. Then I am making the background to be repeat in the y direction. Let's save this, and here we have a beautiful line in the center of experiences. To have a sense of in the center, because for now it's not in completely in the center of div, I am making left 48%, and yeah, now it seems perfectly in the center with the z index of 1 and border radius of 5 pixels. Let's make it bigger, and if I save this, I should move towards the div inside the progress bars. These divs are actually going to be the parent divs of circles, and for those I am making flex 1, so they will have the equal width and then the padding top of zero point 0.8 rem with the z index of 2. So making it z index 2 and line as z index 1 make us sure that the line is always be in behind of circles. Okay, after this I am targeting the circle and making its border 50% with the background black and a width of 1.2 rem. As we are also specifying the background color inside the works.jsx, so this background color will override this background black. So you can skip this from here. And then a height of 1.2 rem. Let's save this, and here we have these beautiful circles over the line. Now if I expand this to the desktop version, here you can see it is perfectly aligned for the big screens and for the small screens also. It's time to add the animations in within this progress bar. So inside the works.jsx, first of all on the progress bar I am making a variant of zoom with the parameters of 1 and 1. Let's see what these 1 and 1 do. One parameter is going to be the delay and second one should be duration, but we can confirm by visiting the definition. Okay, first we have to import this from the motion.js. Now I should visit this. Here you can see, yeah, first one is delay and second one is duration. So and then we have to give this div a motion.div name. Let's save this and see what will happen if I refresh the page. Yeah, the whole progress bar is showing a zoom in animation. But we also want these circles to show a different animation, as in the developed version. If I refresh, only the background progress bar is moving, is sliding in, and the circles are zooming in. So specifically we have to change the animation for the line. Here for the line, I am giving it a variant of fade in, also auto imported, giving it a direction of down with the animation type of twin. The delay should be 2 seconds and duration should be 1.5 seconds. Let's make this as motion.div and save it. Let's refresh our website here. Okay, there is some error. I think it is not auto imported. Let's save again. Actually, it is not auto importing, so I have to make it import manually. After this zoom in, I am just pasting its name and save this. Now if I go to that specific section, yeah, the animation is exactly same as we have in the developed version, like this, and then here. So our experience section is complete. Now we should move towards the next section, which is going to be the my latest works here. So this is a relatively easy section to build. If I make it on full screen, here you can see this is very easy section to build. So let's make it very quickly. Close all of these files so we should not be messed up. And inside the components again, okay, let's close this also. I am making another folder with the name portfolio for the next section. Inside this I am making portfolio.jsx and the css. So portfolio dot module dot scss, like this one. Open them side by side, and here in the JSX RAFC for the fat react arrow function, again make it the section dot css dot wrapper with some initial stylings like the first place the dollar sign, okay, here, and make the paddings around it, and for now make it a little bit small. And inside this section I am making a container also. So here, okay, I have to import the css here. Import css from the relative folder portfolio.module.scss. Let's save this, and inside the container I am simply saying portfolio section. Now let's move towards the app.jsx, and after the works I am saying portfolio section should be imported. Let's save this and see the results. Here you can see it is saying portfolio section with some padding, means it is imported successfully. For the container, again put some styling. So for this container I am saying it should have some inner width with the flex center. Okay, again if I make it side by side then you can see it better. So yeah, something like this. So instead of this portfolio section we have to place our heading first. So make a div with the styling of heading, and for this I am saying make an other div inside this which will contain a span and a p element. So after this span I am making a p element. Why I am making such structure? Because if I go deployed version, and here you can see I have this my latest works and perfect solution, the two parts of the heading. So for making the two parts along with this explore more heading, I am making such structure. The first div is going to contain these two aligned parts, and then the second div will contain this heading of explore more. So make them one by one. The first one is my, second one is perfect solution for digital experience. Okay, format our code like this. And for the span, I am giving a class name of primary text. Go to our development website again, and here it has the primary text. And for this p tag, I am giving it a styling with the margin top of 10 pixels. Let's save this also so it has a little bit more distance. Now it's time to make the second div after this one. So I should make some spaces to make it more clear. This is our heading. Here the first div is ending and here is the second div. Actually, the second was not the div but a span with the class name of secondary text, and inside this span I am saying explore more work. So simply copy and paste this. Copy here and paste here, and here we have explore more works. Let's move towards some styling. For this particular heading, I am again making it inside the backticks with the curly braces, and then making it as the flex center, so everything will be in row direction. We will style it more in the SCSS part. Let's move towards the images. So the heading is ending here, and here I am saying it is going to images of our portfolio. So here I am making a div with the class name of showcase. Inside the showcase I am simply pasting some images with the animation. So here if I paste this, and let's okay, here a tag is missing essentially, and make it formatted. So here you can see that inside the showcase I have this image which is having a variant of fade in. I should import it from my motion.js, and it is having its source from the showcase1.png. So if I go to my public, here you can see showcase 1, 2 and 3. So basically these are the sources imported from the public directory, and then the thing to ponder here is fade in animation. All of these images are having the same animation type, which is the upward movement and the twin type of animation, but the difference between their delay is around 1 millisecond. First one is having a delay of 0.5 second, then second one is zero point 0.7, and third one is zero point 0.9 second. Actually it is more than 1 millisecond. They are around 2 milliseconds, and for all of them the duration of animation is going to be same of 0.6 seconds. Let's import the fade in. Let's save this and see what happens. Okay, there is an error, and the error should be, yeah, because we have not imported the motion from framer motion. I was thinking about it, but I was not sure whether I have imported or not. Like this we have imported the motion, and now if I save this, our website is again working. And let's make this website a little bit smaller so we can see our code more clearly, and close this sidebar. And yeah, our images are here but they are too much huge, so we will not be able to see the animations. If I go to my full screen here like this, I should zoom out, and if I reload and try to see the animation, no, it's not applied just because of we have not specified any parent container with the staggered children. So in the section part, I have to make it as motion.section, and then after this, again I am giving some predefined configurations like the staggered children, initial hidden, and the stuff that we are doing from the very first part. Let's save this and see the animations again. Okay, they are not actually happening, and I think this is just because of our alignment. Our alignment is not good here. So let's fix this and move towards its CSS part. So here I am going to portfolio module and make it again around 100%. Yeah, like this. Move towards the portfolio section. Okay, first of all, I am importing the constant as CSS, and then for the wrapper, I am saying background should be white. If I apply this, then a white background should be applied, but we are not seeing any kind of white background. Let's see why this is happening. Actually, this is going too much out of alignment. I think this whole bug is because of our image sizes. So what I am saying, I am here making a comment out over all pictures, let's say, and try to see what is happening exactly. Yeah, so now it's working. If I import only one image here and then try to see, okay, one image is showing up, and similarly if I try for the second one, remove this from here and like this one, let's try. Okay, still the section is showing up. Let's try with only these two images for now, and after making the alignment correct we will move towards the third one. Okay. After giving background white, I am seeing overflow hidden with the container is having direction column. Let's save this. Okay, now you can see uh, at least all the things are appearing inside the portfolio section. After this, I am giving the gap between them of 2 rem with the heading. Inside the heading, I am giving this heading a width of 100% and then a justify content of space between. Let's save this, and here we have the distance between them because now they are moved towards the relative corners, making them align items flex and with the flex wrap, so they should be responsive. Now I'm targeting the second child inside the heading, means this explore more works. For this I am saying text decoration should be underlined and color of text should be orange. So if I save this, now it is designed. Okay, I also want to make the cursor as pointer on hovering this. Now our next target is to fix these images, means the showcases. Here I am targeting the parent div which is having name showcase, giving a width of 100%, a gap of 1.5 rem between the images. So yeah, here now it has a gap. Okay, make the justify content space around with the flex wrap. But the one thing that we have to fix is actually the size of image. So for sizing of image, I am saying in the media of small devices, because for now we are on the mobile device stage, make a width of 100% and otherwise make the border radius 20 pixels and the maximum width 25 rem. Let's save this, and here are our images. Now we can uncomment our third image from here. Let's uncomment this. So now it is showing up here. The third image is also rendered. Okay, let's style them more. For more, I am saying give the maximum height to these images as 18 rem and with this beautiful shadow. If I save this, here you can see their height is also now controlled. At last, make a cursor as pointer. Okay, so I assume this section is also styled. If I go here, no, this is in center and this is not in center. And yeah, this should be fixed by giving our showcase flex center. So go here and then make it as flex center. If I save this, yeah, all the images are now centered exactly like we have in the deployed version. So how easy that was to build on the big screen. If I go to the development version, you can see it is exactly like the developed version. Okay, so our next section is also going to be a kind of easy, and at some point it would be tricky, and this is the testimonial section. Here we have a beautiful carousel which is having custom cards with shadow, with the navigation functionality and with the swiping functionality. And if I make it for the mobile screens like this, now the number of cards on the view has been changed. So we have to take care all of these things while building this component. So let's start building this. Again, go to the components directory. Let's close all the directories. Inside the components, I am making a new folder with the name people. And inside the people, I am making JSX and module SCSS. Okay, here inside the people.jsx, again RAFCE, and import the CSS. Import CSS from relatively people.module.scss. Now we have to make the section for this one. So make section.css.wrapper. Okay. Inside this one, we have to make our div with the class name of container. Inside the container, I am saying people comments. Let's save this. Inside the app.jsx, after the portfolio, I am importing this component. Okay, let's save this and see what happens. Here we have the people comment, so it is imported. Now again go to the people.jsx and give some classes here. So for the wrapper, I am giving it the paddings here like this, so it is having paddings. And for the container here, I am giving it some more padding, so in the y direction, y padding with the inner width. Let's make text like this one. Let's save this, and yeah, now it is having a good distance. I am also pasting some initial configurations for the framer motion. So here I also have to import the motion. So import from framer motion, import the motion, and then make the section as motion dot section. Let's save this, and there is a problem here. Okay, I should fix this like this one, and then import the stagger children from the motions.js. Let's save this again, and here all of the things have appeared. Okay, I have to give some distance for the better overview. Now inside the people comments, first thing I have to make is the heading. So css dot heading, and for the heading I am giving it a class name of flex center. So here write flex center like this one inside the heading. First I am making a span with the class name of primary text, and inside the span I am saying people talk about us, and then the second thing is going to be a p tag. So here a p tag, inside this p tag I am pasting some text here like this one. Now let's save this, and here I have this text. After this I also have an other p tag, so I'm just pasting that one. Let's format the code. So this is the first p tag and this is the second one. Now for this p tag I am giving it not the class name but the style. So for the style, make the margin top as 2 rem. Let's save this. Now we should move towards its SCSS. So here I am giving the link of our constants and targeting the wrapper. For the wrapper we have container inside it, and inside the container we have the heading. So for the heading I am giving the flex direction as column, and if I save this everything is aligned perfectly here. After this I am saying the heading is having a p tag, and for this one make the line height of 30 pixels. Let's save this, and yeah, so our heading is now exactly like the deployed version as we are seeing here. Now it's time to make these carousel. To make this carousel, we have to import some links in our index.html. So I am going to our index.html here, and below this, actually above this title, I am pasting some links. So these links are towards the carousel files, which is the library slick carousel. So first one is its css and second one is also css. Now we can use this library and we can have better results. Let's save this here. I will provide these links in the readme file, so you don't have to worry about this. And now inside the people.jsx, the heading div is ending here. After this I am making the carousel like this one, and make our div with the css dot comments. Inside the comments I am making a slider component, and this slider is basically an object of react slick library. React slick is a very popular library for making the smooth carousels. Now I have to make an ending tag here, and for this I am making some slider settings, and we have to import these slider settings from our data.js. So we will see what is inside the slider settings, but before this I have to give it a class name. So css.slider. Let's save this, and I prefer that first we should make some content inside the slider, then we will look what exactly is inside the slider settings. These are just the props that we have to send to the slider component so it can work according to our requirements. Okay, inside the slider I am again using some javascript, and I am saying comments we have to import them from data file. So let's go to its definition first. Inside the data.js, I have some comments array. Again, this is an array of objects. First one is the name of the person who commented, and then its post with the comment and the image of the person. So similarly, I have some data of the comments. Now I will iterate through these comments, and I will say for each comment with its index number we have to return something, and what we have to return, I am returning a comment div. Inside the comment div, first thing is going to be the image with the src of comment dot image as we have inside the arrays object, then a p tag, and for the p tag comment dot comment. After this we have to make a line, so div.css.line. We can reference this line in the deployed version. Here you can see we have the comment and then we have a line, and at the very top we have the image. So similar structure we are following here. After this line I am saying bio class name for a div and make two spans for this. In the first span I am saying comment dot name of the person, and in the second span I am saying comment dot post of the person. Let's format the code again and let's save this. Now go to the development version, and here I have some data which can actually slide due to the slider, but it's not styled because we have not specified styling in our SCSS file. Let's make some styling that is possible inside this section. So first of all, for the comments, again I am giving it some padding here to give it a distance from both sides. Why paddings? Here now it has some distance from the top. After this, for this comment here, again inside the backticks and then the dollar sign, make flex center. So everything should be in a flex now. So everything should be in center, but it's not applying here just because of some styling that comes with the slick slider, and it is overwriting our styles of flex center. So we have to fix this. So, but first of all, let's discuss about the slider settings. I am going to its definition, and in the slider settings, I am saying dots should be true. So because of dots true, we are seeing these dots, and then infinite as false. So you cannot scroll as an infinite loop. It stops at the end. Here you can see now we can't loop more. And then the speed of 1000 slides to show 3 at the use screen, and then slides to scroll means on each scroll it is shifted to the one slide. Now the initial slide should be the 0, and this is basically the index number. Touch move means it is very helpful for the mobile screens and the touch screens, and then use CSS true. Now it is the responsive part. As you can see here, we are saying that slides to show 3, but actually we are seeing 2 slides. Why this? Because we have specified some responsive rules. In the responsive rules here, if you come here breakpoint 1000, we are saying on the 1000 pixel screen width only show 2 slides, and then slides to scroll to, and the initial slide is the second one. Now because we are not on a very too much small screen, which is the original Y screen, it will show one slide there, and here at this width it is showing 2 slides because it is satisfying this condition. Now let's move to its CSS part. Inside the module SCSS, make the font size bigger, and after this heading I am saying target the comment section, make a box shadow here. So I am targeting a very beautiful box shadow here. Let's copy and paste this value, and you can also copy and paste this from the video. Now padding of 2 rem with the display flex, and I also want to make it important like this one. Now flex direction should be column with the gap of 1 rem. Let's save this, and here you can see now the display flex is applied because I have specified as important. Now the background of slides should be white, and then they should have a border radius of 2 pixels. After this I want to make the position as relative. Now I am targeting the image inside these comments. Make the margin auto for these ones. So margin auto with the border radius of 50%, so they will be in a circle, and essentially we can make them as 100%. Okay. After this the width should be 3.5 rem with the height of 3.5 rem. The position should be absolute for the images. Let's save this, and here are the results. Now to specify the position I am saying top should be minus 2 rem. Let's save this. Here they are. Now I am applying a specific filter which will give a very light shadow on these images. So let's save this. Now these images have very light shadow. Okay, now there is a problem with the slick slider that it can't put the distance between the slides, and there are also some issues with the overflow property because now overflow is hidden, so our images are not shown. However, on the internet, I found a solution for this one, so I am just copy and pasting this solution. You can also copy and paste this, as we know that here we are only targeting the comment, the each individual comment, but these comment are in the comments parent folder, so comments can lie here and the closing brace should be after this one. Yeah, like this one we should format the code, and in the comments I am pasting some code which is fixed for spacing between the slides. You can just copy and paste this code from the video because I found this code from the internet and this is doing what we want. If I save this, now you can see the overflow problem is solved and the distance issue is also solved. Now let's move to the comment section, and after the image we have a p tag. Make the text align center for that one, font size of 0.9 rem with the line height of 25 pixel. Let's save this. Now target the line specific which should lie after our comments. So for the line I am saying width should be 100% with the border of zero point 0.2 pixels solid, and then I am giving a very light white color here like this one. Let's save this, and here the line appears. The very last thing is the bio of the comments. So in the bio section I am saying target all the things inside the bio, make the display block for all of them, and the text align center. Let's save this. Now I am saying for the first thing, which is the nth child one, and nth child one is going to be the name of the person. Make the font weight 600, which is equal to the bold font weight and the margin bottom of 5 pixel. Let's save this, and now I have to target the position p tag. So nth child 2, and for this one make the font size 0.7 rem with some color of this very light color. Let's save this, and here is our section. If I go to deployed version, okay, the only thing that is different is the border radius. So I should fix this in the okay background, and the border radius it should be 20 pixels. Yeah, now it is exactly like the deployed version. It's time to add some animation on this section because if I reload, there is nothing happening. I am going to people.jsx, and on the container I am saying it as motion.div, and let's say yeah, okay. After this motion.div I am giving it a variant which is the footer variants. Why I'm saying this as footer variant, because we are going to use the same footer for we are going to use the same variant for our footer, and it is essentially made for the footer. But then I realized it is also working very fine on our testimonial section. So if I refresh this and refresh our page, here you can see now it is animating. If I visit this section again, here you are seeing very smooth transition here, and on the big screens let's test this. Yeah, it is moving very fine. Very cool thing to show. Our next section is going to be the footer, which is the final section of our website. Let's make this. Again, go to the components folder inside the src here and make our last folder with the name footer. Inside the footer, again, first one is the JSX file and second one is module file. So module.scss. Okay, now inside the JSX RAFCE, and here there should be a section with the wrapper class like this one, and here I am simply saying it is as footer. Now import CSS here, import CSS from relative footer.module.scss. Cool. Let's save this and try to import it in our app.jsx. Here inside the app.jsx, below this people section, here I am writing footer, and yeah, let's see this on our website. If I go to my website, here I have this footer section imported. Again, let's make our project side by side. Yeah, so here we are. go to the footer file again, footer.jsx, and instead of this footer, as we have from the very first component, we have to make a container here. Inside this container, I am making a div with the class name of, let's say, left. Okay, why I'm saying left? Because I am going to make two sections of footer, the left and the right one, like this. Okay, so if I simply say it left one and then say it as right one, format the code, and here I have left and right. Because if I go deployed version, okay, close the sidebar, they are going to be the two sides. First one, this one is the left side and this one is the right side. Let's make it maximized to the desktop version. Here you can see the left side and the right side. So we are going to work according to this structure. Start by making this one first. Okay, so as it lies inside the left one, I am making a span with the primary text class, and inside this class I am saying let's make something and then a line break after this, amazing together, like this. Again, format my code and make it a little bit small so we can fit all the things. Okay, then I am making another primary text here, and in this primary text I am writing a very simple thing, this one. Okay, let's format it again. Here it is saying align start by, which is this one. Now I am making an anchor tag. Inside the anchor tag I am giving my email address. So by clicking this, a pop-up will appear as it is appearing here to send the email. This is just because of this reference of mail to. So if I save this and go to our development version, here I have these two things. We have to style this according to orange color, but we will do this on later. Let's move to the right side of the footer, and for the right side I am making a div with the class name of info, and inside the info I am making a span with the secondary text and giving it a name as information. Now I also making a p tag, and inside this p tag I am making a random address here. So this one is going to be this div, and the final one is our menu. So for the menu, after this info div, below this one I am making another div with the class name of menu, and for the menu I am just simply making some list items like this one. Let's format the code. Okay, yeah, and here these are list items. So our structure is ready. Let's import some animation side by side. So as we do from the very first section, here I have to make some predefined configurations to enable animation, which are the variants initial, while in show, and viewport. And we also have to import framer motion. So import from framer motion, we have to import motion like this and make this as motion dot section. Now I have to give some styling on the wrapper. Okay, let's make a distance here and remove these extra line. Let's start styling. So under the backticks and then the dollar sign, give some paddings here. Let's save this. Okay, I also have to import the stagger children. Now if I save and go to the footer, now it has a beautiful padding. And then make some styling for the container. So for the container I will say inner width again with the Y paddings and the flex center. Let's save this. Okay, now give some animations to this container div by making it as motion dot div, and I'm giving it a variant of footer variants. Let's import it by auto suggesting, and now if I refresh the page here, it is showing an animation while in view. Essentially you can see it like this one. Okay, very good. Let's move towards the CSS part, and for the CSS, first of all import all the constants, and then I am targeting the wrapper, making the background as white for the footer, and after this we have a container inside this, and for the element of container I am giving a gap of 2 rem. Let's save this. Okay, and then target the left side of our container. I am giving the flex of 3 times the right side. So if I save this side contains a little bit more width, actually 3 times the width of right side. And again I am saying everything inside the left side means the spans I have should have display block. Now I am targeting the nth child to the second child is going to be, if we go to footer.jsx, so this is the first child and this is the second child which is start by, so I am targeting that one and giving it a margin top of 3 rem. Let's save this. Yeah, here is a margin on this. Now I have to target the anchor tag and make the text decoration underline with the color of orange. Let's save this. Yeah, now it's exactly what we want. And I think the left side is pretty much done. After the left side we have to target the right side for flex of 1 like this. Let's save this. And then the info, for the info I am saying the margin bottom should be 1 rem, and then inside everything which is inside the info everything I am making display block again. So yeah, let's target this menu individually now. So for targeting the menu I am saying, okay, I have to go outside of this info because menu lies outside of the info. So here I am targeting the menu, and for the menu make display flex with the flex direction of column, so FLD and then column, and also I want to gap of 2 rem. Let's save this. Yeah, let's make the list style none to remove these dots. So list style none. Sometimes the shortcuts become a pain. Okay, now I am targeting each list item individually, make the cursor as pointer, and then I am saying on hovering this list item make the color as secondary color. Okay, let's save this. Now if I hover on this, these items are changing their colors. So that's enough from all the modules.scss, but it's not exactly like what we have here. So to make it exactly like we have to make a media query on our container. So our container lies here. After the gap I am giving it a media query like this, and I am saying flex direction should be column on small screen with the gap of 2 rem and the align item flex start, let's say. Yeah, let's save this. Now it is exactly same as we have here, but still the menu is not same. So let's see what's happening with the menu. I go to the menu here, and after this, okay, actually I have to give above this, so it should take the mobile styling first. So here I'm saying on the mobile screens make the flex direction row, and after this make the flex wrap as wrap. So FW, okay, flex wrap and wrap. Let's save this. Yeah, now it's exactly the clone of our deployed version. Here you can see there is no difference between both of them. So our footer is also now ready, and if I switch it to the desktop version, let me switch it. Okay, here you can see it's very cool. But the thing that is meaning, when we click on a specific list item in the menu item, it should be scrolled down to the towards the specific section. So to make this functionality, I am going to works.jsx, and here I am saying essentially after this wrapper make an anchor tag with the class name of anchor but with the id of work, which is the name of our component, just this one, and remove the href. Okay, so an a tag without href. Let's save this, because if I go to my header component, here you can see the experience section is going to refer the work id. Okay, so when I am clicking the experience section, now it is moving towards our section. Similarly, for the services, I am going to target the expertise. Okay, so expertise component is here, and let's make after the a dot anchor and then the expertise. Let's save this, remove this href from here, and try to click on this one. Okay, I should refresh this one and try to click. Okay, it's not going towards expertise, and I think we have. Okay, because I made a typo here, let's save this again. Now try to click on and it's moving. So similarly, I am going to paste anchor tags on all the sections so it starts scrolling on clicking a specific menu item, and I am going to reference them according to these IDs we gave here. So I have completed this work. Here you can see that I am in people section and I have given it an anchor tag with the ID people. And if I scroll to another section and click on the testimonials, now it is scrolling me towards this. But the problem is another one. The sidebar is not closing on clicking outside of the sidebar. We have make this on the condition of clicking this menu item. So we have to make a logic to close the sidebar on clicking outside of the sidebar. So for this, again go to the header.jsx, and here I have made a custom sorry, not the component but a custom hook, and you can call this hook as use outside alerter. So use outside alerter, I have to import it manually if I am here. Okay, so if I import two things from the hooks folder, import use outside alerter from go outside, then go outside hooks, and then use outside alerter like this. Now it is here, and we have to give it a menu ref and a set menu open function. Okay, so we have no ref like the menu ref, so let's make this also. Here I am saying const menu ref is going to be the use ref, which is the hook of React. So I am just simply importing this. Now let's save this, and at the very last give this menu ref to our menu. Yeah, here I am saying its reference is going to be the menu ref. Now format our code. Let's see this. Refresh your website, and if I click here and click here, it is closing on clicking outside of the sidebar. So our last task is to deploy this project on the internet. So I am using Cloudflare pages to deploy this. So here if I write Cloudflare pages like this one, go to this link. You have to make an account by sign up, and if you already have, you can simply log in like I am doing. Here my dashboard is loading, and you will see all the pages you deployed on the internet. So we have to create a new project here, and I can say it as a direct upload. For the name, I will say YouTube Binjan portfolio like this one. Let's create a project, and now it is saying upload your assets. So to upload the assets, so go to your directory, open your terminal and close your server by pressing Ctrl C and write command clear to clear your output, and here write yarn build to make a production build. Actually I tried previously, so I have to delete this one, so it should make a new one. Okay, now if I hit enter button, here you can see that it is making a build for production use. Okay, now it is made here inside this. So what we can do, I have to open it in file explorer, find in folder, not in finding folder, but we can reveal in file explorer, and here it is. Now I can just drag this in my Google Chrome and paste it here. Now let's see how much time it will take to upload all of our files. And here it took a very small time to upload file. Let's deploy the site by clicking on this button. Okay. Now it is saying successfully deployed. Now you have to wait around 1 minute or more than one, like the 2 minutes. So it should be deployed properly on the URL. If I click now here you can see our website is successfully deployed on the internet. I will also provide this URL in the description of video, so you can also visit this live. So here our project is completed. If you really like my work and projects, so do support me on Patreon. Also subscribe this channel and hit the like button with the bell button. You can also find me on Buy Me a Coffee. So if you want to support me, you can also support me there on Patreon, and please hit the subscribe button. Take care. Goodbye.